Hey y'all, hey, and welcome to Drawing Conclusions with me, Christina B. Happy Monday! Today we have a short case for you. It's very recent and super tragic. It does involve a murder-suicide, so trigger warning. I do think this case is important to talk about because it includes domestic violence as well as mental health, which are very constant themes in a lot of the cases that I research and cover. Mental health is so important and it's something that is not discussed enough, especially amongst Black men. And I think that this case, though very recent and we don't have much information on it, highlights the need for mental health within the Black community, especially as it relates to our Black men. Let's discuss. Arieuna Nichole Reed, 23, sadly lost her life in a murder-suicide at a Brown Deer, Wisconsin apartment complex on Saturday, February 5th. She worked as a medical assistant and also owned and operated her own design business. She was a mother of one, a son, about age 2, and her ex-boyfriend and father of her son, Larvell Huddleston, 26, was the gunman. At 10:09 a.m., officers received a call of shots fired with a possible victim in the parking lot. The police chief said the shooting spree started as a domestic disturbance. It is believed that Arieuna was dropping their son off with Huddleston when the shooting began. During this spree, Huddleston shot 2 men that were thought to be helping Arieuna after she was wounded, killing one of them. The other man had non-fatal injuries with a gunshot to the leg. He then went to his second-floor apartment with his son, where he shot at police from the balcony, and it is believed that this is the place where he later took his own life. Huddleston also live-streamed on Facebook from the apartment after the initial shooting spree. Now, this is where I became knowledgeable of this case because I did happen to come across the video on Facebook. Now, the original video and Larvell Huddleston's Facebook page have been taken down, though I'm sure the video is still circulating. So when I saw the video yesterday, being Sunday, this is about 24 hours after the incident took place, Larvell's Facebook was already down. So when I tried to do research onto him and go to his page, I wasn't able to. And the video that I personally saw was one that had been shared several thousand times already. So I'm sure that is still circulating out there somewhere, but I will not be showing the video nor clips of it, and I will not be linking it down below, just out of respect for the victims and the survivors of this shooting. I want to describe what took place in the video. So in the video, you can see Huddleston walking around the apartment, and he's talking into the phone, of course, to the people that are watching the live. He shows the scene outside of the window. You can see the police are present. And briefly, for a split second, you can see that there appears to be a body laying next to a car. But the image quickly shifts, so you can't really see for sure that that's what it is or who it is, but that's what it appears to be. You see him give his son something to eat and turn cartoons on the TV for him to watch. He pans over to the son for a split second. You can see him standing there with his coat and things on, holding a slice of pizza. He talks about having some type of mental issue, but states, quote, "Y'all think it's about a girl, and it's not. And also, I'm not crazy." But he doesn't exactly say what the mental issue is, what he's struggling with or dealing with mentally, or what caused this entire situation to take place to begin with. He does ramble about nobody listening to him, nobody taking him seriously, him trying to reach out to multiple people to let them know about his mental state, and pretty much nobody taking him seriously. He shouts out of the window a couple of times down to the police, I assume, telling them to come up and get his son, stating that they're going to have to kill him. He also states that he's not ready to die, but doesn't see any other solution to the problem. A couple minutes later, after him talking out loud, thinking out loud, he then shouts out the window again, saying he needs somebody to come and get his son, and saying at this time that he is going to take his own life. He seems to really be struggling mentally in the video. He can't quite articulate what it is that he's having an issue with. He doesn't seem to be able to comfortably discuss what it is he's trying to say. He seems very stressed and anxious, which of course he would be given the situation. He just shot and killed 2 people and injured a third. But in my estimation, it does seem that he is struggling with something in this moment, something that he's still, even though he's calculating like his last moments, that he still isn't able to just say or get off his chest. And this is just a random thought. And preface it by saying I'm not a doctor or a therapist, but this video caused me to wonder, not just this video, but other videos I've seen of men that have killed their families, killed their wives. It's caused me to wonder if men suffer from a postpartum depression the same way that women do. I know that some men have like sympathetic symptoms like nausea, weight gain, like tender breasts, things of that nature. So I wonder if they would mimic the psychological effects that women have when giving birth and after the fact as well. And that's not to insinuate that that's what's going on in this case and that Huddleston was suffering from some kind of postpartum depression that caused him to do this. But I'm just curious. It's just a thought that I have. I mean, it's at least worth looking into. Men's mental health needs to be more discussed as a whole, and specifically in the African American community. It's still very taboo to go to therapy, let alone to even express your feelings and emotions to anybody else. Men keep so much inside with this toxic masculinity mindset of always appearing strong that it's hard to say what Huddleston or any other man, black man walking around, is actually dealing with. I mean, he could have had a lifetime full of trauma that he's been keeping deep inside and covering up for years that nobody even knew about. And something as harmless, as seemingly harmless as a disagreement between he and his ex-girlfriend turns into a shooting spree. Now, again, I'm not saying that that's what happened, but these are things that we need to talk about and consider because these type of shootings and killings are becoming far more prevalent. And doing a bit of Facebook research, meaning that this information is not confirmed and should not be thought of as fact, I found that Huddleston was allegedly upset that Arieuna had ended their relationship and decided to go this route, being that he decided to take out his frustration and anger of being left by his girlfriend and shooting and killing her. One of Ariana's cousins also spoke out on Facebook, and she stated, quote, "My cousin lost her life at the hands of a coward. He said out of his own mouth, nothing is going to justify what he did, so why are y'all trying to? He went on live to get y'all to feel bad for him because that's what abusers, manipulators, and gaslighters do. He killed himself because he couldn't live with what he did, not because of mental health." And again, this is according to Facebook. This is still an ongoing investigation, and being that both parties are now gone, there's probably no way that we're really going to know what happened. I mean, we can't speak with Huddleston now to know what his mind state was, to know what he's going through, to know the demons that he so clearly possessed. But you have some people saying that, this was a mental health crisis, and others saying that this is pretty much a evil man that took out his transgressions in the most horrible way possible. Now, I don't personally know these people, so I can't say which is which. And if I did personally know him, you still can't say because you only know what people allow you to know about themselves. So, I mean, even his mother, his own closest friends could have not known that he was struggling with some things that he was struggling with all along. But either way, this is a complete and total tragedy. A young boy lost both of his parents, and 3 families have to bury loved ones. We'll probably never know what really happened at that apartment complex on Saturday morning, or what caused Huddleston to snap. But we can prevent this from continuing to happen. Check on your friends and those that you claim to care about. See how they're doing, if they need anything. A lot of times people just need somebody to talk to vent their frustrations, to get things off their chest, and oftentimes have nobody to turn to, nobody that's willing to listen. Be that listening ear. If you're struggling with your mental Reach out to somebody. Ask somebody if they don't mind listening, if they don't mind being that person that you can unburden yourself on. And if all else fails, go to therapy. Your mental health is important. You are important. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. I love you. Be great. Be you. I'll see you soon.